This is the story of AOL. Are we good? That light's still in the shot? It's creeping out though, little by little, isn't it, little fucker? So when you were at home watching Dragon Ball Z and skateboarding with all the friends on your street, I was inside of my room with a laptop going crazy. In 6th grade, I felt as though I were invincible and that I thought I was pretty dang smart, and literally nobody knew what I was doing forever. Weird. Here's that story. When I was 12, I had a bunch of shady friends online, and we all hung out on AOL, and we would mess with people all day, and it was hilarious.
Hello there. 'Tis me, Shady Mike, from Michael's past, here to shine a bit of light. Yes, indeed, on the situation. You see, he forgets what actually happened. He forgets the gritty, grimy detail.
Some of the community even enjoyed making graphics. And when I saw that some of these people were making these random signature graphics for their forum, some of them were actually kind of cool. And I just sat there with Photoshop for hours and hours.
Where did you obtain the software license to run that program, Michael?
I don't remember.
You don't remember the software named Kazaa or LimeWire, Michael?
Anyway, I started digging into Photoshop all by myself. No teachers, no tutorials, no YouTube. I spent hours going through each and every menu item, testing and reiterating layers until I started coming up with my own style. They were all weird, but I still had the confidence to post them proudly for everyone to comment on. That's true. I don't know where that came from exactly. I don't know how I decided that I'm going to make something, show it to somebody, and I was like totally cool doing that for some reason. I was totally cool with just posting stuff, even as a kid.
Far from it.
And so I had this PayPal as a kid that had no bank account attached to it, which was funny because now you have to have a bank account attached to it. but I could buy things with the PayPal money, you see, so I didn't really need a bank account at the time. It was cool. Anyway, sometimes we would raid AOL chats. When we would roll into these chats and we started messing with people, of course, it was very immature. If anybody gave us any crap, we would use these little scripts to kick them offline.
You would log in to thousands of accounts to unleash an unrelenting attack on the subject's computer.
Right, yeah, we would send them funny messages. We had a great time. Anyway, one day I was in this chat, in a public chat, and someone said, "F off."
The absolute fool. Does he know who we are?
I said, "F you" back to the person. And I was immediately messaged by somebody, some admin. And they were like, "Yo, Vegeta SSJ7XXXX," okay, or whatever my screen email was at the time. AOL is a family place, okay? And there is no negativity. So please refrain from using any more vulgar language like that. This is a warning. This is a warning from me to you. I'm warning you. If you do it again, you're out. This is the message that I received. I told the crew what happened. So one of the people somehow got in there and deleted his account. So we all thought that was pretty funny.
You launched a full-scale attack on his poor, unsuspecting system, breaching entry by brute force and permanently erasing any and all of his files from existence.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad. But having this kind of power was super intoxicating, and it basically made us all feel like we were invincible. About a couple hours go by, and I get kicked offline. I'm online, messing with people, and I get,
Goodbye.
And I was like, uh-oh. A little pop-up came up on my screen that said, "Error, please call this number." So I did. I called the number. And a lady on the other line said that our account has been locked and the admin needed to call in to get it figured out. So I hung up and I went in my room and I thought about what I should do. That night, my mom tried to log in. Got the same error. And I heard her go, heard her pick up the phone, dial the number. I heard her wait, and I just sat there wondering what was going to happen. I knew something bad was going to happen. All the things that I had done started washing over me. Every rule that I broke, every little thing that I did started washing over me one by one. And that's when I started realizing how screwed I was. She said no a couple times. It can't be. No, it can't be true. Some of the things that were heard from her office that night. And my dad walked in. She told him what happened. And that's when my parents, in the biggest I'm in trouble event of my childhood and life with my parents, they laid down the hammer and they were like, you're never going on the internet again. You're done. No more computer, no more internet. It's over. And it was not a pleasant conversation. It was a terrible experience. And then I realized that I couldn't log into my AOL account anymore. All of my friends, probably like 200 of them, I wasn't going to be able to talk to them anymore. And when I realized that, I ran into my room and I started trying to write down all of their screen names that I could remember. And the shitty thing was is some of them would use like aliases, so I didn't even actually know some of their actual screen names. But I wrote them all down one by one in hopes that someday I would be able to talk to them again. Soon after that, a couple weeks after that, a friend of mine came over who is no longer with us anymore. His name was Carrie, my childhood best friend. And we figured out how to get me back on the internet. We went to Walmart with somebody else's family member or something. And I bought like a 200-foot roll of phone line cable, like a phone line patch cable. Came home. We got into the neighbor's house, who was an older gentleman, plugged that cable in, ran it over his property to ours, ran it into my wall, through my wall, over to my desk and out a little hole so I could plug my laptop into it that I had basically for school stuff. I broke the little tab off the phone cable so you could pull it out the back of the laptop, and I attached it to like this wooden foot pedal that I made underneath my desk. So if I heard anybody coming, I could stomp down on the foot pedal. It would rip the phone cable out of the back of the computer, through the hole in the wall, and down the wall. So it'd be like there's literally no way you could tell that there was a cable back there. And I did that for a couple years. I completely stopped messing with people in that manner. I stopped doing all the shady stuff. So what am I doing right now? The faster that you can identify that something is a failure, identify why it's a failure, and then identify how to avoid it next time, and then immediately pivot to do something else or to make a correction in something that you were wrong about or whatever, the faster that you can do those kinds of things, the more successful you'll be in life, especially if you're trying to make a business for yourself. You're trying to become an entrepreneur or whatever, in whatever industry you're in. Failure is around every corner, and if you have the wrong mindset, you're gonna actually feel like you're failing all the time. If you focus on those things and you focus on what you're failing at, you're never going to get that motivation and drive to keep going. You're never going to get those little bits of success that you need to keep going, and it's not going to work. There's some little monologue there. I don't know where that came from.
Excuse me.
It doesn't even barely light up in here. The lightsaber seems to look quite like shit. It looks like I'm holding a plastic lightsaber.
Fucking shit. Alright.